All right, so we're back and ready to dive into some college hoops.
Yeah, looking at some of the best bets early in the college basketball season.
That's right. We're kicking off a new segment this season for those of you who really follow the numbers.
For the serious bettors out there.
Yeah, the people looking for an edge. Let's jump right in with Duke taking on Army. Duke opened up with a huge win, 96-62 over Maine.
Monstrous win.
Freshman, Knuppel, looked like a seasoned vet out there, dropped 22 points.
Wow.
But what really caught my eye was Cooper Flagg.
Hmm?
I mean, his high school stats were off the charts.
Yeah, he's a potential #1 pick.
Oh, yeah.
For sure.
Definitely one to watch.
Absolutely. But on the flip side, though, we got to look at Army's forward Josh Scovins.
Okay.
He put up 22 points himself against Albany.
Interesting.
Shot 64% from the field, showing some real efficiency.
So maybe a little bit of hope for Army?
Well, maybe a glimmer, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Duke's size and athleticism are going to be a major problem for Army. Their defense is stifling, and with Flagg's potential as a two-way player,
Yeah.
I just don't see Army keeping up.
Okay, so we're leaning towards Duke on this one.
Leaning.
Now let's move on and talk about a matchup that has all the makings of a classic, Kansas versus North Carolina.
Oh, yeah. A blue blood matchup for sure.
Both teams are ranked in the top 10, Kansas coming in at preseason #1, and they've got a dominant force in Hunter Dickinson.
Yeah, he's a beast.
Averaged almost 19 points and 9 rebounds last season.
And that's where I see the biggest mismatch. North Carolina's front court is relatively inexperienced. Jalen Washington, Jalen Withers, they saw limited minutes last year, and they'll have their hands full trying to contain Dickinson.
Right.
It's going to be a tough task.
Dickinson's a fifth-year senior. He's seen it all. North Carolina's success might hinge on whether they can find a way to neutralize him.
Exactly. They'll need to get creative defensively, maybe double team him, force him to pass out of the post.
Right.
But even then, Kansas has a lot of offensive weapons, so...
So this Kansas-North Carolina game is shaping up to be a real battle.
Absolutely.
Let's shift gears now. Head west for UCLA versus New Mexico.
Okay.
We got a clash of styles here. New Mexico loves to run and gun, but UCLA is known for their slow, methodical approach.
Yeah, and what's interesting here is UCLA's ability to shut down transition opportunities. They force opponents to take those less efficient mid-range jumpers. New Mexico lives and dies by getting to the rim.
UCLA ranked in the top 10 in adjusted defensive efficiency last year.
For sure. UCLA's defense is stifling.
Sounds like you're really liking UCLA's chances in this one.
Well, they've also made some significant offensive improvements. They got veteran guard Kobe Johnson back. They've added some talented transfers like Tyler Bilodeau, Eric Daly.
Oh, wow.
They have the potential to be a very well-rounded team.
So UCLA's defense is stout, their offense is looking more potent, and they match up well against New Mexico's style of play, but they are giving up 6.5 points. Do you think they can cover that spread?
I do. I think UCLA's defensive prowess and ability to control the pace will be the deciding factors in this game. But let's hold off on the final picks until we break down the numbers a bit more.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's get into the numbers a little bit more and see if we can find some hidden gems for our listeners.
Yeah, let's analyze these spreads.
All right, starting with Duke versus Army. Duke's laying a whopping 33 points.
33 points.
That's a big number. Are they really that much better than Army?
Huh. Well, when you look at the stats, Duke's offense is explosive, averaging over 96 points per game.
Yeah.
Their effective field goal percentage is through the roof. And on the other side, Army struggled to score against Albany, a team that's not exactly known for their defensive prowess.
Right.
It's a big spread, but I think Duke has a good chance to cover.
Okay, you've convinced me.
All right.
What about Kansas and North Carolina? Kansas is favored by 7.5 points.
This one's a little trickier. Kansas has the advantage in the paint with Hunter Dickinson. But North Carolina's backcourt is dangerous. They've got some explosive guards who can score in bunches.
Yeah.
I think this game will be closer than the spread suggests.
So you're saying North Carolina might be a good bet to cover?
I'm leaning that way. I think North Carolina can keep it within 7 points, especially if they can slow down Dickinson.
Okay, last but not least, we've got UCLA versus New Mexico. UCLA is giving up 6.5 points.
This is where I see the most value. UCLA's defense is stifling, especially against teams that rely on getting to the rim.
Right.
New Mexico fits that profile perfectly.
Yeah.
Plus, UCLA's offense looks much improved this year. I think they can win this game comfortably.
So you're taking UCLA to cover?
Absolutely. I think they're the safest bet of the three.
All right, so we've broken down the matchups, analyzed the stats, and now it's time for the moment of truth.
Let's hear it.
What are our picks for this weekend's college basketball action?
I'm going with Duke minus the 33,
Okay.
North Carolina plus the 7.5, and UCLA minus the 6.5.
Wow, those are some bold predictions. I'm excited to see how they play out.
Yeah, should be a good one.
And for those of you who want even more in-depth analysis and picks throughout the season,
Absolutely.
be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, Smart Picks Network. We'll be breaking down all the key matchups and giving you the insights you need to dominate your bracket. So, any last words of advice before we let our listeners go place their bets?
Yeah, just remember these picks are just a starting point. Do your own research, consider all the angles,
Right.
and always bet responsibly.
Absolutely. Bet responsibly. Couldn't have said it better myself. All right, everyone. That's all the time we have for today. Best of luck with your bets this weekend. And be sure to tune in next time for more college basketball breakdowns.